Hello, teachers, and happy Thanksgiving. This week we'll be having a review week for Unit 5, Session 2, 3, and 4, and Unit 6, Session 2. So I have it laid out here in front of you. The golden calf, building the tabernacle, worship at the tabernacle, and the people doubting. So here are all the Christ connections. And then because it touches on Unit 5 and 6, we have 2 memory verses and 2 big picture question and answers. We haven't got to go over the Unit 6 memory verse yet, Romans 8:28, and I don't believe we've been able to practice 1 Samuel 2:2 as much as before. So you could even show them the videos, the music videos, and practice that together. There is a sandwich this week. It begins and ends with people sinning, and the middle two is on the tabernacle, which signifies God's abiding presence with the Israelites. Both times when they sin, Moses mediates on their behalf, and God forgives the Israelites. But there is still a consequence and punishment. One may think, did God really forgive them if there was still a punishment? But there are two things to consider. First is that God disciplines his children. There are others that he allows to be consumed by their own sin, but he disciplines his children to keep them pure. Second, what did God forgive them of? They were forgiven from being annihilated, and God starting over with Moses and his descendants. My guess is that some people cannot get past the question, did they deserve to be annihilated for their idolatry? I get that it's sin, but is it that bad? We shouldn't forget that idolatry caused death in the first place. It's not only that God punishes sin with death, but sin is what birthed and causes death. To sin is to reject God, who is life, and choosing to be separated from him. So sin is not just breaking a rule, but breaking a relationship. And there are costs to breaking a relationship. The more intimate the relationship, the more offensive it appears when it is broken. A stranger being angry at a stranger is not so emotionally costly or offensive as a child breaking a relationship with a parent. The relationship between God and humanity is infinitely more intimate. We must also understand what a covenant is. A covenant is an agreement between two parties, usually a stronger party with the weaker party, like a stronger king with the weaker nation, to conduct a certain way with an expectation of consequences when they are not kept. God's covenant with Abraham was unilateral, meaning God took all the risks of the consequence without requiring Abraham to. That meant God was going to make this come true no matter what the cost. But the Mosaic covenant was two-sided. The Israelites have broken their side of the covenant, so it is God's duty to give the consequence. You can see Exodus 23, verses 20 to 26, and the whole chapter of Exodus 24 to see how they confirm the covenant. But more than the consequence, the narrative is pointing to God's faithfulness. What we should focus on more is what actually happened, not what would have happened. The reality is that although they deserved death, they were spared because Moses was willing to mediate on their behalf. We also deserve death, but are spared through faith in Jesus' mediation. So I've here laid out the two rebellion and forgivenesses. God's first decision to punish them, and Moses' mediation, God's forgiveness and relent, the consequence to sin. Here there's an atonement that Moses makes for them and God's ultimate punishment. And there's the same for when the 10 spies gave a negative report and people started despairing. There's a similar structure for that. So you can look at that and even review that with the students. And here at the end, I will provide this document. Here are some activities and ideas that I found online. that might be helpful. And when you have time, you could also look at other things that the children should know so far, like the burning bush, the Passover, the plagues, the Red Sea, and such. So, happy Thanksgiving, and hope to see you on Sunday.